Welcome everyone to our Q4 release webinar brought to you by Twilio. Every quarter we host this webinar to showcase the incredible products our team has been launching throughout the quarter. And we enjoy taking this time to highlight the important developer tools and updates that could positively impact your experience developing with Twilio. Lastly, I want to thank you for your continued support and feedback, which helps us build better products for you. My name is Jordan Schutz, and I work at Twilio as a Senior Product Marketing Manager of Developer Experience, and I'm going to be your host for today's webinar. In this webinar, we're going to be showing off new Twilio, SendGrid, and Segment products that are in a variety of different launch stages. And as a result of these products being in different launch stages, I just want to inform the audience that they should make all of their purchasing decisions based on currently available products. In today's webinar, we're going to be covering everything you need to know about the Twilio customer engagement platform. We're going to help you get started with your digital transformation journey and show you how you can use our service offerings to improve your customer and developer experiences. We're also going to be showing off 9 new exciting releases coming to the Twilio customer engagement platform, like Twilio Engage, Twilio Live, and so much more. After each section, we're going to provide you a resource for you to get started today. Before we jump into the new product releases, I just want to take a minute to highlight the power of the Twilio customer engagement platform. All of the products mentioned in this webinar enable developers and the organizations they support to create engaging customer experiences wherever consumers are through trusted digital channels. Developers are able to personalize these experiences at scale by merging all of your customer data under one single source of truth. With all of the Twilio channels, including messaging, voice, email, and video, developers can create scalable and production-ready applications by implementing just a few basic Twilio APIs. With Twilio's SendGrid email API, this enables you to send emails to your customers and maximize inbox placement by protecting your reputation as a trusted sender. This new feature is called Deliverability Insights, and we're going to be featuring it later on in this webinar. And with video, developers can create real-time video applications that scale. So whether you're coding in JavaScript, Android, or iOS, implementing the Twilio SDK is a breeze, and we're going to be showing you where to get started later on in this webinar. Messaging enables you to start building solutions for SMS and WhatsApp, along with sending mass alerts or user verifications such as one-time passwords using the Verify API. And with voice, you can use our API to create a custom web calling experience with Twilio's Voice SDK. And you can build solutions like mass calling with proxies, call tracking, embedded calling with WebRTC, and so much more. As you can see, Twilio's customer engagement platform truly helps companies engage with their customers by creating meaningful relationships by providing all of the digital channels companies need to connect with their customers from a single trusted provider. Twilio's CEP is powered by Segment, the #1 customer data platform that enables developers like you to bring all of your data together across business silos and intelligently personalize each individual customer interaction at scale. To kick this webinar off, I'd like to introduce that Twilio Functions, headers, and cookies support is now generally available. I'm now going to pass the mic over to Phil, who is a principal developer evangelist at Twilio, who will be giving you a short demo of headers and cookies working in action.
Thanks, Jordan. Okay, so Twilio Functions is a serverless runtime for your JavaScript. That is, you can write JavaScript functions that respond to incoming HTTP requests and host those functions within the Twilio infrastructure. Up until now, with Twilio Functions, you've been able to get access to query parameters and other parameters in the body of a request, and you've been able to set headers on responses. And with the release of Twilio Functions Runtime Handler version 1.2, you now have access to the headers of an HTTP request, and access to automatically parsed cookies from that request, and functions that make it easier to set cookies on responses. With access to these features, you can take advantage of cookies, of CORS, and of other features that headers make available to you. Now, to get access to these headers and cookies, you need to update the version of your Twilio Runtime Handler. You need to update to version 1.2, and you can either do this in the Functions editor under the dependencies, like this, or if you're using the serverless toolkit, just update that inside your package.json file. Then, once you've redeployed your functions, your code will have access to those headers and cookies. And let's take a little look and see what we can do with headers and cookies within your functions. Now I've got a function service right here that currently is set to a lower version of the runtime handler. And I've got a small function here, which is just responding with event.request. Now event.request is a new object on the event that will give you access to those headers and cookies. So if I run it right now, there's nothing there because we are not yet on the right version. So if we go into our dependencies and update the runtime handler to 1.2 and then redeploy, this event.request object will now have two properties on it, headers and cookies. And we'll be able to see, when I load the page in my browser, the headers and the cookies that my browser is sending. That is just about deployed. There we go. And I can refresh the page now, and we'll see this object appear. So there are headers. There's the cookies coming from my browser. Great. So what can we do with this? Well, one of the first things you might want to do is implement authentication or authorization within headers. So here's a function that implements HTTP basic auth. There's a function at the top of this file, is authorized, that takes in the auth header, a username and password. It parses the auth header and then to get a username and password out, and then compares that against the username and password we passed in. In the actual handler function itself, we get access to that header by calling on event.request.headers.authorization. Note that all the header names are downcased for consistency. Once we've got that auth header, we can pass it to our isAuthorized function along with a username and password that are stored in the environment and thus available on the context. And if it passes, we can return just a string that says hello to the person logging in, hello username. If it doesn't pass, we'll return a response with a 401 status and this www authenticate header that basically prompts the browser to prompt the user to enter that username and password. So let's see how that works. We're going to auth there, and this is our first 401 response. We requested without any credentials whatsoever, and so we got asked for our username and password. Now if we put in something that's wrong, we'll just get asked again. But if we put in the correct details, then the auth header is parsed correctly, and the response says hello Phil. Great. Let's take a look at cookies as well though. You might not know this, but Twilio, when it's sending webhooks as part of a voice or an SMS conversation, actually acts as a well-behaved HTTP client. And so it respects things like caching headers, but it also sends and sends back cookies that you set. And so we can use that to store information about a conversation and then use it again later. So take a look at this function. In this one, we're getting a cookie called count out of the event request.cookies object. And then if that count exists, we'll just parse it as an integer, add 1, and respond with how many messages we've sent. If it doesn't exist, then we'll start it at 1 and say this is the first message. Now just to show off a couple of bits here, if the count is then less than 3, we are going to use the new setCookie function to set that latest count so the next time we get that incremented number. Otherwise, if we're more than 2, if we're above 3, then we'll remove the cookie, effectively wiping the conversation and starting again afresh. Now I have this hooked up to a phone number already, and it means I can send messages to it. And so this will trigger that first message. This is the first message you've sent. And now we should start counting at how many messages that we've sent. This should be 2, and then finally 3. And with that third message, we've run remove cookie, and so the whole thing should start again, and I'll just send another hello emoji there, and we're back at the start. There we go. So that is headers and cookies in Twilio Functions. You can access this today by upgrading to Twilio Functions Runtime Handler version 1.2, and you can learn more about these request headers and cookies in Twilio Functions at the URL on screen. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Phil, for that awesome demo of Functions, headers, and cookies support, and great job, team, bringing that to market. I'm now super excited to announce that Paste, an accessible open source UI UX framework for React developers, is now generally available. As we all know, building UIs for modern applications is really hard, and that's why we built Paste. It's a design language and system used to power all of Twilio's interfaces. It's beautiful, it's modern, and accessible, and it provides an excellent foundation for your application. By now, you've most likely seen Paste across most Twilio apps. It's a cohesive UI UX experience across all of the Twilio product offerings, and it means that you can spend less time learning how the UI works across Twilio products and more time innovating. And the best part about Paste is that we make it easy for you to develop UIs with keyboard interaction, and this allows you to ship accessible customer experiences all for free. It's an open source framework that you can download today. So what is Paste exactly? Paste is a set of stylized React and Figma components that you can use to build complex UIs. Paste comes bundled out of the box with tools that allow you to quickly design and express your UI ideas and solve for common UX problems. We've built Paste to have a great developer and designer experience out of the box, and we have an advanced suite of React UI and Figma design components that allows you to quickly compose your ideas into complex, easy to use, and delightful web experiences. As a developer, it's super easy to get started. All you have to do is import the Paste core package into your React app, or you can use one of our starter kits to get going. And if you're a designer, just use our Figma community files to get started. What I'm also super proud to announce is that Paste is fully compliant with WCAG 2.1 AA, and it's a great starting point for inclusive, accessible UIs. Through this, you can actually build interfaces that allow each user, regardless of accessibility needs, to operate your interfaces. This means great keyboard support, screen reader support, easy to perceive color contrast, and so much more. And Paste isn't just for Twilio UIs. Once again, it's completely open source, and it's a great starting point for your app's UIs. With theming support, including a great dark mode, you can build UIs that are accessible and robust while matching your brand requirements. We have easy to use prototyping tools for developers to quickly design their ideas in their web browser, which you can see in the screenshot above. If you want to get started with Paste, go to paste.twilio.design to get started and download the open source framework today. And with that, I'm super excited to announce that the console refresh is now generally available. The Developer Experience Console team has been listening to your feedback, and Johanna, staff product designer of the console at Twilio, is here to talk to you about the revamped console experience that their team has been working on.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Jordan. My name is Johanna, and I'm the staff product designer working on the DX console team. Our team has talked with developers like yourselves on how we could improve the legacy Twilio console, which launched all the way back in 2016. Through those conversations, we learned that users had some issues navigating through the console and finding what they needed in order to create their dream Twilio application. I want to highlight 3 examples of product navigations from the legacy console. Through our research, as customers built applications using a combination of different products, the inconsistent structure and terminology, as well as the duplication of content across products, was making it difficult to navigate through the legacy console. To address this feedback, we wanted to refresh the console and fix these challenges. To tackle this, our team identified the key milestones of the developer journey inside of the console experience and conducted user research to confirm our theories. Well, we listened to your feedback, and I'm pleased to announce that the new console, which was recently released, has a fully revamped structure based on the ideal developer journey. In addition, it's built on the award-winning modern front-end platform, built with a Jamstack architecture, which has led to more efficient engineering practices and, most importantly, better performance for our customers. Paste React components used to build the new console experience enabled us to create a beautifully designed system which is fully accessible by default. If you'd like to learn more about Paste and how you can use it in your own React application, go to paste.twilio.design to learn more. One of the biggest structural changes to the new console is the separation of content related to development and monitoring. Now you have designated areas to focus on the right information at the right time in your journey. The best part is we give you the flexibility to configure your navigation and customize it how you wish. After much iteration and testing, the new console now reflects the phases our developers go through while building with Twilio. These initial structural changes have laid the foundation for us to provide a better developer experience for you. I'd like to thank you for your time today. We've really appreciated all of the feedback we've received from the community to help us create the amazing new console experience that you can try out today by visiting console.twilio.com. I'm going to hand the microphone back over to Jordan, who will cover the new GA release of Twilio SendGrid's Deliverability Insights.
Thank you so much, Johanna, for showing us the power of paste and the new Twilio Console experience. I want to now announce that Deliverability Insights is in public beta, and it's located today on your SendGrid dashboard. With Twilio's SendGrid email API, this enables developers like you to deliver emails without interruption by providing a scalable infrastructure and reputation protection. But to fully maximize your inbox placement, you're going to need a dynamic tool to analyze the magnitude of email data that's available. And this is where the new feature Deliverability Insights is here to help. Our new dashboard and API actually streamlines key deliverability metrics data into actionable analytics for you to monitor and optimize your email program health. I'm now going to log into SendGrid, and I'm going to show you how Deliverability Insights works. So now that we're on the Deliverability Insights dashboard, I can inspect how many emails are delivered, bounced, and blocked, and how many unique opens I'm getting per email. So the first thing that I'm noticing is that my most recent email that I sent out dropped in unique opens, and it has an increased bounce rate. So to investigate this problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to my Mailbox Providers tab to view what mailbox providers my emails are being sent to. As I'm looking at this graph, I can see that for some reason, the emails that are sent to Microsoft mailboxes have a declining delivered rate. And this explains why on the overview page that we saw a decline in open rate. So to debug this, I now can go to the Bounce and Block tab, and usually when an email gets sent out, and an email gets blocked from a provider, that provider, it'll send you back some sort of response, right? But this response, it's usually pretty cryptic and it's hard to understand. And what's nice is that Bounce Classifications, it actually groups this data into 7 digestible classifications for what caused the email to be blocked. There are multiple reasons why an email can get blocked. It could be a content issue, it could be that the address was invalid, or it could be because you have a poor sender reputation. So what I can see here clearly from this graph is that my reputation is what's causing the bounces and blocks. So if I click into the reputation, I can now see that Microsoft inboxes are the root cause of the issue. And I now have all the data I need to go investigate further on how I can correct the issue. So thank you so much for demoing Deliverability Insights with me today. And to get started, you can go ahead and create your free account on SendGrid.com, and you can learn more about Deliverability Insights by visiting the documentation, and there's a blog post available to check out on the SendGrid blog. So far in this webinar, we've taken a look at Twilio Functions headers and cookies support, paste, the new Twilio Console, and Twilio SendGrid Deliverability Insights. Next up, I want to announce that CodeExchange and the Twilio CLI are both generally available. I'm now going to hand the mic over to Anish, a software engineer at Twilio working on the CodeExchange team. Anish is going to walk you through how to build your first live production-ready application using CodeExchange.
Thanks, Jordan, for the introduction. Historically, coding has been exclusively to engineers. That's why here at Twilio, we enable everyone, no matter your experience, to build and deploy your first application using Twilio. Twilio CodeExchange enables you to develop complex integrations without any engineering support. And today, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So what is CodeExchange? Well, CodeExchange is a repository of Twilio sample apps that cover a wide range of use cases. CodeExchange allows builders to focus on building rather than coding. With apps tagged as quick deploy, builders can select a code template, click a button, and deploy a fully working application within seconds. No starting from scratch, no servers startup, and no application configuration to deal with. With working code at our customers' fingertips, they can edit and customize at will. This allows our customers to experience that Twilio magic within seconds. Awesome, so let's check out CodeExchange right now. Let's hop right in. So this is the home page of CodeExchange. And you can do a few cool things here, like filter by product, so SMS for say, or maybe language. But today I actually want to find an app that will let me subscribe for notifications. So I'm going to go ahead in this search bar and type in subscribe. And this second application here looks like something I want to use. It's also tagged with quick deploy, which is that thing I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to click into this application. This is a brief description of what this app does here. But if we scroll down, you can see that we have a quick deploy section here. And to start using quick deploy, I need to be logged in, and it already pulls in my account information once I'm logged in, so that's good. And then I can also choose the phone number from my Twilio account that I want this application to work with. So I'm going to choose this demo number here. And finally, there are a few variables that I need to enter. Here I only need to enter the passcode for this application. And as soon as I'm done with that, I just hit deploy. And so what this is doing is it's taking our code template for this application, the variables we've entered here, and our account information, putting them all in one, and then deploying it to our Twilio Functions product. And right, that product is handling all hosting and deployments and everything like that. So it's deployed, and it looks like we're ready to go check out the application. So this application is actually running live as we speak on this URL, so anyone could visit it right now. But it actually has two parts. So the first part is to subscribe to a phone number that you want to receive updates from. And the second part is the broadcasting part. So let's go ahead and click subscribe here. I'm going to start entering my phone number. But I actually don't want people to see my phone number. I don't want my phone number exposed to everyone. So we can actually edit this application in real time. So I'm going to go back to this page here and click edit this application. And it's going to load this product in our functions product here. So let's give it a sec. Okay, cool. So it's done loading. And I can actually go to subscribe HTML, which is a page we just saw, and look for that input box that we're typing our number in. So I'm going to scroll down here to line right there. There's the input field. I'm going to change telephone to the field password and then hit save. And then finally, I just have to redeploy this. And this is we're changing this application in real time, so it should only take a second. And once this is done building and deploying, we have a success message, and we can go back to our application here and hit refresh. Awesome. Now when I start typing, my number is hidden, so that's great. And I want to be kept updated on both these things here. So I can hit subscribe, and I should get a phone number, a little code here on my number, in order to make sure that nobody is, misusing our code here. Awesome, so we're successfully subscribed to updates. So now we just have to go to our second part of the application, the broadcast part. And I'm going to broadcast this message to whoever subscribed to my application. So thanks for joining this webinar. And I'm going to send it to everybody here and enter that password that we just had entered when we first deployed this app. It says send message, and I got a text message right there. Not sure if you can see it, but thanks for joining us at this webinar. And so that's how easy it is to use CodeExchange and Quick Deploy for your needs. We got to experience that magic super quickly, and we hope all the customers that use this product can experience that magic just as quickly as I did right now. So as an alternative to Quick Deploy, we also have the Twilio CLI, which is the same exact thing we did, but through the terminal. All you have to do is initialize with the template name, run start, verify your changes, and run deploy. And you have the same exact workflow we just did. And with that, I'd encourage you to check out twilio.com/code-exchange and build your first app within seconds today. I'd love to hand it back to you, Jordan.
Thanks so much, Anish, for that awesome demo of CodeExchange and the Twilio CLI. I'm now going to hand the mic over to Doug, who's a senior group manager at Twilio Segment, who will be introducing the brand new Twilio Engage and developer toolkit for Segment. But first, let's roll the clip.
Hello, what's up? Nice to meet ya. I got something that I like to teach ya. I've been dripping that magic sauce, and they be staring like, who's the boss? Bonjour, hola, konnichiwa. The time is now, don't turn it down. I gotta feel like it, gotta feel like this is gonna be big. Say
Now, wasn't that something? Hi everyone, I'm Doug, Senior Group Manager at Twilio Segment, and I'm thrilled about Twilio Engage, and I'm pleased to announce that Twilio Engage is now in private beta. This is our first of many products that's a combination of Segment's leading CDP and Twilio's API channels. So what does that actually mean for developers? With Twilio Engage, your team can design the specific customer engagement campaigns that your company and your customers need. There's no requirement for development teams to pull the lists that power those campaigns. With Twilio Engage, you build your audiences and integrate them with all of your applications under one extensible platform. This means no more data silos and a lower time to market for your marketing campaigns. And specifically for developers, that means no more asks for customer lists or CSVs, no more learning new APIs for each tool that needs to be integrated, and more time spent building your core product. Twilio Engage features a customizable canvas where campaigns can be built based on real-time actions that users take. With Twilio Engage, we enable you to focus on connecting the end-to-end customer journey because it enables you to understand your customers so you can easily acquire new customers through better audience targeting and by creating campaigns with attractive promotional discounts and offers. Additionally, Twilio Engage allows you to design personalized campaigns that allow you to engage with customers more successfully, from onboarding all the way through to reactivation, all in one simple to use interface. And lastly, the new product allows you to personalize your customer experience across a variety of tools and channels without needing to integrate each of them one by one. Best of all, Twilio Engage is built on top of Twilio's super network, which means all of your messages will always reach every customer. And there's analytics built in to track your progress. If you want to learn more about Twilio Engage, please visit segment.com/Twilio-Engage to get a free demo. We just talked a lot about engagement, but there's a lot under the hood from a data perspective that enables that personalized engagement to happen. At Twilio Segment, we've known from the start that the key requirement to delivering personalized experiences is high-quality customer data infrastructure. So next up, I'm going to be giving a quick look at Twilio Segment's data infrastructure with a focus on the new releases that make Segment's product even more customizable and flexible for you. Twilio Segment has spent years refining the infrastructure that supports real-time behavioral data, which can be used to deliver the next generation of customer engagement. This infrastructure consists of 4 key components: data collection, data processing, data aggregation, and data activation. And that underlying infrastructure supports both the new products we're building, like Engage, and the solutions that our customers are building on top of the Segment platform. Because most companies don't have the exact same needs when it comes to customer data infrastructure, we've also invested in a developer toolkit that allows you to customize and extend the Twilio Segment platform to meet your specific needs in case you want to build something or do something beyond what's already delivered out of the box. The developer toolkit is a collection of tools spanning the entire Twilio Segment product that allows all customers to configure, customize, or build on top of the Segment platform to meet their needs. And unlike some of the other toolkits that you might have used in the past, the Segment Developer Toolkit isn't a big install of one SDK. Instead, you can pick and choose what pieces of the kit you need, pull those from GitHub, Swift Package Manager, NPM, and other places. Some of the features come right out of the box, and some need to be installed. And the developers that have used the developer toolkit love it because with it, they can streamline data collection with best-in-class libraries, SDKs, and server-side sources. They can ensure data is processed correctly, aligned to the right spec, with tools like data validation, transformations, and filtering. And lastly, they can configure or customize data so it's delivered to destinations on the platform in the exact format they need it in, with features like destination actions and functions. So let's dig into 2 of the new features that we've included so you can get a better sense of what we mean. The first is batching for Analytics.js. Analytics.js is our open source JavaScript library that's used by thousands of developers worldwide. It enables you to send your data to any tool without having to learn, test, or use a new API every time. And what this new batching feature delivers is more control and better performance. Let me explain why. Instead of collecting and sending individual events to Segment as they occur on your website, batching allows you to set up your implementation so that multiple events are batched together, as the name suggests, and sent at the same time. Not only does this reduce the number of API calls made, but also has the potential to increase your app's performance based on the setup you choose. The next feature I wanted to highlight is Destination Actions. So Destination Actions is a new and powerful way for you to configure certain destinations on the Twilio Segment platform. The new Actions Destinations delivers more control and flexibility in how individual destinations are configured when it comes to how data is mapped to a particular tool that you might want to send it to, like Braze, Slack, or Amplitude. And specifically, Destination Actions streamlines setup by eliminating a majority of destination settings and making settings configurable at the field and endpoint level. It gives visibility into how data will be mapped from Segment to our end destinations, so you know that your data will always arrive as you expect it in the end tool. And lastly, it allows you to customize your data mappings, like event and field mappings, which is great if you have a unique or non-standard approach to data tracking, or want to tackle a really specific use case. There's a lot more that you can do with the developer toolkit too. So to learn more, go to segment.com/product/developer-toolkit. And with that, I'll pass it back to Jordan to cover Twilio Live and video insights. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doug, for that awesome introduction of Twilio Engage and the developer toolkit for Segment. If we reflect back, 2020 was the year of video acceleration. Businesses and consumers alike turned to video due to the pandemic. And while using video may have initially been for safety, the top reason consumers like using video is due to convenience. In fact, based on a survey that we conducted, a majority of US consumers report convenience as a top reason they like using video calls. And surprisingly, pandemic safety was actually second. This means that video is here to stay, and businesses who can meet consumers and their need for convenience will succeed in this new digital-first world. I'm excited to share that this is where Twilio Video comes into the picture. With Twilio Video, developers can embed customized video experiences into their applications that scale automatically. We give you the power to define your digital brand by embedding video directly into your applications where and when you want it. This enables you to build high-quality video applications that work across various network conditions. I'm super excited to announce that Twilio Video Insights is actually now in public beta. Twilio Video Insights provides you with self-service tooling via the Twilio Console, and it's actually free for group, peer-to-peer, and WebRTC Go developers. The Video Insights dashboard allows you to monitor your application usage and identify trends across all of your rooms and participants. You can see how many participants are active, and you can track things like usage and growth. Additionally, we've launched a completely revamped video log analyzer for diving into individual calls to troubleshoot end user issues with ease. Video Insights detects issues for you, so you don't have to spend hours looking through a bunch of logs or trying to reproduce what users are reporting. We process metrics and events and tag participants when there are issues detected, so that way if you have issues with high packet loss or high latency, we're able to surface those issues in the Video Insights dashboard, so that way you can better understand how many rooms or participants are impacted. Indeed is actually using Twilio to transform the hiring process with an all-in-one platform for virtual interviews. When COVID-19 made in-person interviewing a challenge, Indeed needed a remote video solution for hiring. Twilio APIs gave Indeed developers the freedom to customize every single aspect of their solution to include recruiting specific functions and visualizations and helping them differentiate from other offerings on the market. Solutions like these are exactly why we launched Twilio Live. We want to enable you to unlock your creativity and to create the experience you dream of. I'm also super excited to announce that Twilio Live is actually now generally available. Throughout COVID, we've observed a major shift in how consumers want to engage and interact with live streaming experiences. Our customers are looking to bridge those gaps and build solutions for virtual events, auctions, fitness classes, trainings, live shows, and so much more. However, while the market is moving towards live interactive streaming, it's actually a huge technical challenge to build a live streaming platform for a few key reasons. The options today are limited. Third-party platforms don't provide capabilities that our customers want, and the current solutions require making trade-offs between security or scale, and lots of them are broadcast only, which means that they lack the ability to provide interactivity. It's also incredibly hard to set up an infrastructure that can scale to millions while being low latency enough for interactivity, while providing high quality audio and video. Twilio Live solves all of these problems for our customers by providing a platform that supports low latency, scale, and ease of use APIs that can get you up and running quickly. We provide you with all of the building blocks you need to build and deploy your dream live video experience to your customers. Best of all, Twilio Live is powered by a programmable video SDK, which allows you to spin up video rooms for use cases such as video WebRTC Go rooms, video peer-to-peer rooms, or video group rooms. As part of our private beta launch this summer, we partnered with Reddit to support them in building their new live streaming audio feature for their Reddit Talk communities. Twilio Live was able to support Reddit with a high quality experience for their users, and we hope to support you with your future Twilio Live implementation. If you'd like to learn more about Twilio Live or Video Insights, please visit twilio.com/live, and you can try out Video Insights today right from your console. Well, everyone, that concludes the end of our quarterly release webinar. Thank you so much for watching and attending. We really appreciate it. If you'd like a chance to win some free Twilio swag, please take a brief moment to go to the survey below and leave your feedback on the webinar and tell us what you'd like to see next. We're also going to open it up to live Q&A, so if anyone has any questions, we'll stay on for a few minutes to answer those questions in the chat. Thanks again, everyone, so much for attending, and we hope to see you again for our next webinar in Q1 of 2022.